morning. Welcome to your Wednesday episode of Hoops Talk with Dave. I'm your host, Dave Smith. Thanks for joining me here on your Wednesday morning, April the 2nd. Just a quick reminder, the Final Four of the NCAA tournament taking place this Saturday evening. I'll have a full breakdown, full preview of the Final Four coming for you on Friday morning. But right now, we got plenty to check out from last night, including some insane stat lines coming from the NBA, starting with the Milwaukee Bucks as a team. We'll get to some player stat lines in a minute, but this stat right here from the Bucks was crazy. Their team record for the best field goal percentage in a game took place last night as Milwaukee shot 51 of 74 from the field. That is equivalent to 68.9%. That's a team record. They shot 17 of 29 from three, which is equivalent to 58.6%. Incredible performance from the Milwaukee Bucks. They beat the Suns 133-123. And over to a couple of crazy individual performances last night, starting in Memphis. The Golden State Warriors traveling into town, taking on the Memphis Grizzlies. And if you were a Grizzlies fan there, yes, the Grizzlies lost, but you got to watch a show. Steph Curry, 52 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, shooting 12 of 20 from three. That's right, he hit 12 threes, which is insane. I think we've become accustomed to seeing Steph Curry do things like this, and so we're just kind of like, oh, that's Steph Curry. That's what he does. But 12 threes in the game, no matter who you are, is absolutely insane. On the flip side, Draymond Green putting up his first triple-double of the year, 13 points, 12 assists, 10 rebounds. The Warriors get the victory 134-125. And if you were up late last night watching the late-night TNT game, you were rewarded with a double overtime showdown between the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Denver Nuggets. And Nikola Jokic manages to put up another stat line we've never seen before, a 61-point triple-double. 61 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, shooting 6 of 11 from behind the arc. Insane performance from Nikola Jokic. They still lost the game, however, 140-139. The Timberwolves were just too much. Anthony Edwards pouring in 34 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists himself. Nickeil Alexander-Walker off the bench, putting in 26 points. Once again, the Timberwolves walk away in double overtime victorious, 140-139. Turning the page to tonight in the NBA, we've got a couple of great games here on ESPN. Starting in Cleveland, the New York Knicks taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavs, 10.5-point favorites at home. Tip-off at 7 p.m. on ESPN. And then at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, the Thunder playing host to the Detroit Pistons. This is a really fun Piston team. The Thunder's 14.5-point favorite for good reason, but don't be surprised if Detroit keeps this one close. I think this Detroit team is playing some really great basketball right now. They're 9 games above 500, which is insane. We know how good the Thunder is this year. They're 51 games above 500, a whole different league. But I'd like the Pistons to keep it close. Thunder still walk away victorious. And your NBA League Pass game of the night coming to you from Boston. I think whenever these two teams meet up, you got to tune in. You got to check it out because it's Heat versus Celtics. I mean, it doesn't get much better than this. The Celtics sit as 11.5-point favorites over the Miami Heat. Tip-off for this one, 7:30 p.m. Eastern on NBA League Pass. And moving over to college basketball last night as we fly through these NIT semifinals really quickly. Couple of great matchups. UC Irvine getting the victory over North Texas, 69-67. The Mean Green got off to a fast start. UC Irvine weathered the storm, able to come back victorious by 2 to move on to the NIT Championship. And in our second semifinal, the Chattanooga Mocs take down the Loyola Chicago Ramblers. I told you I like the Mocs in this one. They end up winning 80-73. And that sets up our Thursday night, which is tomorrow night, championship in the NIT between Chattanooga and UC Irvine. This game tips off tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. The Anteaters, UC Irvine Anteaters, sitting as a 3.5-point favorite right now. And that will close out today's episode of Hoops Talk with Dave. I'm your host, Dave Smith. Thanks for joining me on your Wednesday morning. Have a great day, everybody. Only a few days away from the Final Four. What's going to be an elite Final Four in the NCAA tournament. We'll have a full preview for that on Friday morning. Tomorrow morning, a full recap of everything taking place tonight, as well as another preview of a great slate of games on Thursday evening. I'm your host, Dave Smith. Thanks for tuning in to Hoops Talk with Dave.